Hi everyone, it's Simon from Exam Solver here. In this video I want to talk about the character Scrooge from A Christmas Carol and a specific way in which we can sympathise with him. Now, sympathising with Scrooge at first, at the beginning of the novel, seems impossible. He's presented as cold-hearted, as always being cold-hearted no matter what's going on around him, and also incredibly greedy, so much so that he won't even spend a small amount of money on Bob Cratchit while he's working for him. However, when we go back in time with Scrooge, as Scrooge goes on a journey back into his own past with the Ghost of Christmas Past, we see a very interesting conversation between Belle, his ex-girlfriend, and himself. In this conversation, Belle is breaking up with him. The reason why she's doing this is because she says that he's become too obsessed with money, too obsessed with the pursuit of money. And she says, "Another idol has displaced me," meaning that there's no room left in Scrooge's heart for her anymore because all it contains is this desire for more money. However, in this conversation, I want to say that we can actually sympathise with Scrooge here. Because if you think about it, what he wants to do, or it seems what he wants to do, is just provide for himself and for Belle, who he probably thinks is going to be his future wife. He wants to make sure that they're not impoverished. They don't live a life of poverty, misery, hardship, and that's his motivation for dedicating himself to the pursuit of money. However, what happens to him is that he gets carried away. He starts with good intentions, but he gets more and more obsessed with making money, so much so that there's no longer any more room for Belle in his life. And then ultimately, there's no room for anything else other than making money and greed in his life. So at first we think that he's just cold-hearted, just greedy, that that's all he is and that's all he's ever been. But we see this isn't the case. We see that at first he was a good person who wanted to make money to provide for himself and for Belle, to make sure that they weren't going to be poor, but he just becomes obsessed with it. He gets so carried away. So maybe Dickens is using this conversation between Belle and Scrooge as a character on the whole, to show readers the dangers with this pursuit of money. Maybe he's saying that there's nothing wrong with money in and of itself, but we just have to be careful if we're really pursuing money to make sure that we don't get carried away and that our lives don't become dedicated to it. That's just one breakdown of a writer's method from Christmas Carol. For many more on Christmas Carol and for many other of your texts, check out Exam Solver.